Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. Today, I'll be showing you the fastest way you can actually connect your laptop terminal to the Cisco devices on your simulation environment. So I've received some questions and feedback due to my previous videos on how I was able to connect those routers from my CLI terminal. So today I'm going to do a very fast way in which you're going to be able to achieve this. So just follow me along. So I have a topology here. This is my PNETLab. I use PNETLab. So another thing to add is that PNETLab and EVNG actually use the same structure in which you are going to create a port for each of your devices. Do you understand? So and that's the way you'll be able to connect ideally using Telnet. But if you actually want to use if you want to access your device using SSH or via automation, so you might have that kind of bottleneck to be able to achieve that. So I have a router here, which is PE1. And so I'm going to start with a new router, which I've not even configured anything there. So let's start with CE1. So let me try to on it. So while the router is coming up, so you can see that my PNETLab is actually 169.172.16.29.128. So this is the IP address of my PNETLab. So and this was taken from the IP address of my virtual hypervisor, which is VMware. So the first thing you need to do is come to your terminal. I have my terminal here. Then you can do ifconfig. Let me just zoom it into for you to be able to see. So ifconfig. So if you do ifconfig, you can scroll up. So you're going to get the bridge ID. Though as a network engineer, you should be able to be curious or look at, okay, how is this thing working initially? So there's a bridge ID that is being created for your new stuff. So you can see this is the bridge ID, 1629.1. So this is the gateway where the VMware has actually created. So it's from this pool of subnets that all virtual machine that is created within the VMware will be taking the IP address. So that's the first thing. So you've noted that this is the VMware. So now let's try and check something now. So this is the bridge. Let's ARP -A-high, and let me paste the bridge ID there. So you can see the bridge ID. So in this bridge ID, that's the network I shared earlier that the VMware is using. We already have two guys using it. 128 is my PNETLab. 130 is one of my PG routers. So this is in this subnet, this particular subnet is what you're going to assign to each of your devices. So let's dive in and see. Let's check if this guy is up. So the router is up. So if I want to connect, I think let me just over to it. So the port is 3001. So the port is 3001. So if I want to connect to this guy, I need to now do a telnet. So let me come to my terminal. Let me come to this new one. Telnet. Telnet. The PNETLab IP address. Let me get that. Telnet. Remove this once. So this is how it's expected for you to log in. You can see. So this is how you normally the way you actually log into any of those devices. So EN, this is my Cisco router, show IP interface brief. Interface brief. So you can see I have an IP address already, but I cannot SSH to it. I can't even reach it from anywhere. If I try to, the only way I can connect to this guy is using Telnet. And maybe you want to try Netmiko, though Netmiko has the Telnet module, but people are actually used to SSH. Yes. Or you want to try Nornir, or you want to try any network automation playbook. The common one you use is SSH, and PIN is secured, right? So the way you can actually do this is so you all have to do is come to your PNETLab. So I have a node here. So this node, you have to create a node. You have to add a node. I get it. You can cancel and just add an object, a node. You come to a node, and you come down. Let me just so you click on network. I get it. So you add objects, you click on network. So add object, you click on network. It's not a node. And the type, you're going to create, you are going to add this management cloud 0. I get it. So this is the management. So this management is the network we are going to create in which you will connect to. So once you create this guy, because I have it already, that's why I don't have to create it. But this is it. So you connect one cable from this side, you plug it to this guy. So you plug, let's say E03. Let me say E03. I'm taking port 3 of this CE1. I'm connecting it to the management network. So once you connect to the management network and you save it, do you understand? So once you save it, so the next thing you need to now do is two ways. You can actually configure DHCP on this particular interface. If you configure DHCP on it, let's come down here. Let's go back to our terminal and config interface Ethernet 0/3. Description is management. And let's say IP address DHCP. Interesting. So once you save it, so you would notice that show IP interface brief. Can you see? So you can see that IP address is coming. You can see IP address 29.131.255.255.0. But you have this IP address already. So you can see that it has assigned an IP address from your management network, 29.131. So if you come back to this ARP and you check ARP, maybe you try to ping it 131, ping 172. This is from my terminal, 16.39.131. Okay, 1629. 1629. So you can see you can ping it, right? So if you then do ARP actually is learning it already. You can see that the ARP is learning it, which shows that they're on the same network. So the next thing you just need to do is to come to the switch and configure. But there's a problem here. So the problem is that the DHCP will just unallocate an IP. In case, for example, let me go back to my note. I've already assigned 131 to this guy and 29.132 to this PE2. So DHCP is just assigning an IP just based on the pool, right? So in case I just want to just configure my own dedicated IP to it. So the thing is, just note the IP address you've used within your node. So the next thing I can just do just to make this, because I have a node that has 131 already. So the router is up. If this router is up, there's going to be a conflict. So that's why it's don't really depend on DHCP sometimes. Configure it manually yourself, especially if you are working with a lot of nodes. So I can come to this router then. Come to this router. Where is the interface? Come to this router. And then you can just say config T interface Ethernet 0/3. So no no IP address DHCP. So I can then say IP address based on the number of IPs I've used already. So 16.29.133. Because from my network node here, I've used 130, 131, 132. I think 129 has been used. I use it for a VM. And 128 is my PNETLab. So I can just take it accordingly. 133 for this guy, for this CE1. So I can come here and then 133.255.255.255.0. So I can ping. So as far as I can ping the gateway, I just try to see if I can ping the gateway. Dot one. Let's see. Yeah, I can ping the gateway. I can ping other devices. Let me see 130. If I can ping 130. Yeah, I can ping 130, and I can also ping PNETLab 128. So interesting. So you can see that I've actually ordered and find a terminal interesting. But ideally, SSH is not configured on this guy. So the only next thing is just for you to configure SSH. Have your config. So configure SSH. You put the username and password there. Come to the terminal. So we've configured the domain name just to be able for you to be able to generate the key on your line VTY as well. You put this guy there so that you'll be able to impute SSH. And then the last thing is generate your key, crypto key, generates RSA. Yeah. So good. We are good, right? So the next thing is from my terminal. Let me go back to my VS Code. So I'm going to go back to my VS Code now and try to do, okay, let me see if I can SSH from it. SSH net admin at 172.26.19.133. Let me see if this IP is correct. Let's go back to this terminal here. Show IP interface brief. 16, yeah, it's 1629. So let me copy this correctly. And yeah, this is not correct. Okay. SSH net admin at, you can see I can SSH to it now. So password, put the password to 3. Good. I mean, I can use SSH, show IP interface brief. So for my terminal, this is from my terminal, and can actually log into the router, make any changes. So let me come to my to one of my scripts here. So I can change this guy to the IP address of the switch. And let's run a Netmiko command. Python, what's this? Tests underscore device py. Interesting. You can see that from my terminal now, I was able to actually reach the device. So anything I want to do, I want to use Ansible to automate, I want to use Netmiko right from my terminal here, I'll be able to do that. And if you actually want to know all the IP address your server have used, you can just do ARP -I -A and the bridge ID, bridge 101. So Yeah, come here. I think I have the command there already. So let me just come here and yeah, this is it. I finished start first for the it's an argument for the ARP. So you can see that you are learning it on the MAC address. So from the bridge. So the bridge is just like a switch. So this is all for this session. Thank you very much. So the next class we'll be actually diving into automating a lot of network devices, 4, 5 devices, using Netmiko. And getting those devices from the inventory list. Thank you very much. See you in the next session.